What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jose here at the First Round By Podcast, accompanied by my boy, Mr. Sauce.
What is up, one and all? I think I'm going to keep using that. Welcome to episode 27. If you didn't catch our last episode, please make sure you go check it out. We had Everando on here.
Everado, that's right.
Everado. Okay, yeah.
You said Everando or something.
Yeah. Anyway, so we had an MMA fighter on here. He just won his last match, and he's now 2-0. We had a little sit-down conversation, little interview, if you would. Answered some questions and everything. It was a good time. So you won't want to miss that. So go check that out if you haven't yet. But on this one, we are back to football momentarily. So obviously it's the off season. Some crazy moves have happened. Insane moves. Like this is the biggest off season that I feel like I've witnessed.
Now, you know what's weird? Like, it's so funny how like we started the podcast, and because like honestly, this last playoff run that we witnessed, it was probably one of the best playoffs like runs that I've seen since I started watching football a long time ago. And then now this off season, it's probably one of the craziest off seasons that I can remember, right? I mean, you're always going to have like those insanely crazy, this person gets cut, this person gets traded, this person, signs with this team. But this has been a really crazy off season altogether. So many different like big names on the move. So many like sleeper, like so many teams that like have been slept on, have been freaking making moves. So it's going to be a very interesting year this coming up.
Oh, absolutely.
This coming season.
Yeah, no, and a lot of it is based off of the big-time wide receiver market right now. Like, the contracts that they're dealing out is just ridiculous. Obviously, with recording this, we are going to be talking about the Tyreek Hill trade. That shit's just nasty. It's really weird because, so the trade compensation, ridiculous. It was like, what, 5 draft picks or some shit like that?
Yeah, it was 5 draft picks, like 1 first round, a second round, and I can't remember the rest, but it was like a bunch of later rounds. I think maybe like 1 or 2 more this year, and like maybe 1 or 2 next year or something like that. Yeah. But the main ones were the first and second round this year.
Which is a lot to pay for a wide receiver, albeit as the caliber that Tyreek Hill is. Like he's incredible. He's a super huge deep threat and everything. Then of course now he's got that massive contract. He's now the highest paid wide receiver in the league, and he's actually, I feel like he's making about as much as a quarterback would.
How much is he making yearly?
From what I saw, I believe it is 30.
Ooh, dang, that's up there.
30 mil a year must be nice,
dude. That's nuts. So I mean, well deserved for Tyreek Hill. He's been playing as a top receiver in the league. Notice how I didn't say he is a top receiver in the league?
Right.
That's what we're about to find out, because he did have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. So this is going to be very interesting for both parties, for both Mahomes and for Hill. Because now if you're Tyreek, you got Tua throwing it to you on that Miami offense.
Yes. Which
is much improved after this offseason.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get to that, but now I think Miami just leapfrogged New England in that division. And then I do think, Patrick Mahomes, obviously he lost one of his top weapons. I know he got Travis Kelce, but Tyreek, it was hard for other defenses to kind of hone in on either or, because they're both huge playmakers.
Oh, absolutely.
But like, again, the Chiefs also brought in Juju, and they also signed Emmett Scantling. What's his name? Marquez. Valdez-Scantling from Green Bay. Yeah. So they took him, and then of course they actually just signed Ronald Jones. They still have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So they still got some pretty good pieces, but those guys, they're not Tyreek Hill. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. And for me, like, I didn't like seeing Tyreek Hill leaving the Chiefs, because I just love that the Mahomes to Hill connection.
Oh, yeah.
Very fun to watch.
It's very, very fun to watch, because you got one that's got one of the best arms in the league, arguably the best arm in the league, and then you got the biggest deep threat in probably the history of the NFL. Like, he changes the way defenses play. Yep. And everything. So it's going to definitely be different, because it's going to be a lot different seeing Tua throwing it to Hill, for 10 yards.
Well, it's crazy, too. I mean, because they got Jalen Waddle, who had an excellent rookie season last year. They got, what's his name, Mike Gesicki?
Gesicki, I think it is Gesicki.
Awesome upcoming tight end. And they got, what's his name? Another receiver that's, what the heck is his name?
Devonte Parker.
Devonte Parker, he has a lot of. I know he's not, the spring chicken he once was, but I mean, he still has a lot of potential. He's still playing. He's still playing at a good level. Yes. And then Miami, they also just signed Chase Edmonds.
Yes.
And they got what was it, Kenyon Drake? Or am I tripping?
No, I think it was Kenyon Drake, but I'm not 100% sure though.
But they got a pretty solid freaking team, man.
They do. They need a quarterback, and I don't know if Tua is it.
Well, and this is the year, and I get it. He's going into his second year or third year. Third year. So he's going into his third year. I get it. He's still young. He has a lot to prove still, but you have the pieces. Like at this point, it's not he doesn't have a running back, or he doesn't have receivers, or like he has and they have a pretty good defense.
They do. They have a pretty good defense.
So now it's like Tua, like what are you gonna do with this? Like this is your make or break year. I do, however, I think the Miami front office or whatever, I think they made a big mistake by letting Brian Flores go. Mm-hmm. I think he was an excellent coach.
Yes,
but.
He helped them overachieve last year.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't feel like they would have made this move to get Tyreek Hill if B-Flow was still there.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So
everything happens for a reason.
I don't know, but I wasn't a fan of him getting fired or whatever. But yeah, Miami's looking strong, man. Very strong.
They are. And like I said, I always preach it almost every episode, but QB, that's the make or break. I don't trust Tua, and honestly, it kind of makes me feel weird about it just because of the fact that he's got two very fast wide receivers out there, and who knows if he's going to be able to get them the ball. I mean, I'm sure he'll get them the ball in short areas, but I mean, well, good thing that they are good yards after catch wide receivers. So
right,
that's a good thing. The Chiefs, though, man. I'm a big draft guy, and all of a sudden it just makes me so sad seeing Tyreek Hill go to another team because of the fact that now means that in the draft, the Chiefs are probably going to be going wide receiver pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, or somewhere on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, their defense is kind of not that great.
Exactly.
It's not that great. But yeah, no, one thing that still is just baffling to me is that the whole reason why this whole trade came about was because basically Davante Adams, that contract that he signed and everything, that's reset the wide receiver market. Mm-hmm. Completely reset it. And so now it's going to get to the point I could see where unless they're willing to take a pay cut, these wide receivers, they're going to want some money. So you're going to see one good receiver and then a bunch of scrubs.
I mean, that's kind of how it is now, in a way. I mean, I know we talked about this a couple episodes ago, but Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to dog on the guy. He's a good receiver, but he's not a Devonte Adams type of receiver, a Tyreek Hill type of receiver, and he's making pretty close to what they're making, and he hasn't even proved himself like that. Like
exactly.
Most of the time, he was a wide receiver 3, sitting behind DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green. Even then, but I don't think he's worth that money. But like I said, he could prove all of us wrong. He proved me wrong this coming up year. Like I said earlier, the Jags, they've actually made some pretty good moves. So Trevor Lawrence, you need to step your game up, my friend.
It's getting to maybe not make or break, but because I mean he was okay last year.
He was all right. He wasn't number 1 overall pick material, that's for sure.
No, he was not that great, especially watching him since he's in the same division as the Titans and everything. That I mean, I get to enjoy watching it whenever the Titans play them because I know that we're gonna probably beat their ass. So, but let's talk about another division rival for the Titans and the Jags, the Colts. Did they fix their quarterback position, or did they just put a Band-Aid on it?
I think they just put a Band-Aid on it, man. And I know we've talked about this in other episodes too. So this is 5 years in a row that they've had a different starting quarterback, if I'm correct. 5 years. So you can't really expect. And I get it. Like whenever Phillip Rivers was there, they made the playoffs, if I'm correct.
Right? Actually,
I'm pretty sure they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they did.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I was about to say you can't expect to make playoffs if you freaking keep changing your quarterbacks. But that's what I'm saying, though. Like you can't keep changing your quarterbacks because it's just you need consistency.
You do.
You need to develop somebody. So
absolutely.
I don't like the move, but I like it at the same time. Like I think the Colts will definitely be a pretty good team, but I don't think that's their answer.
Right. And I agree. Mm-hmm. I mean, but then again, though, you couldn't go much worse than what you came from. which was Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was just, man, he just really shit the bed for the Colts. Kept them from being able to go to the playoffs with his bad play. But I do think that Matt Ryan, I think that he's going to be a solid addition. I'm looking at it kind of in a similar light as I am how it was whenever Phillip Rivers was there. But maybe not to the point, because I think that Matt Ryan takes care of the ball pretty well.
Yeah, he's not bad with throwing interceptions and stuff, but I mean,
but he's also not going to take it to the next level.
He's nearing the end of his career if he's not already there. But that's why they got him for so cheap. I think it was like a 3rd round pick,
or
something. Yeah. So I mean, that's why I'm not too mad at it. Like if it was like a 1st round and like a 2nd round or a 1st round and like a decent player, then I would have been like, what are you doing? But It's a 3rd round pick, so I think it's a fair trade. Obviously the Colts, they have some pretty good pieces on both sides of the ball, so it just made sense for them. Because why would you draft a rookie or draft somebody and then because there's just a big gap. You're just gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to rebuild and whatnot. So they just went after a veteran quarterback who, I mean, they know that he can play well, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that the move does make them better, but I don't know how much closer the gap is in the AFC South now. But I mean, and plus they've still got JT.
Yeah,
he's pretty much in his prime right now.
Yeah,
because I feel like running backs, they hit their prime a little bit quicker than everybody else.
Oh yeah,
does. But their prime ends a lot quicker than most everybody else does.
They have like a good 4-year stretch, and then after that, you kind of start going away. I mean, look at Todd Gurley. I think he had like 1 year, 2 good years.
Yeah,
and that was, he just fell off a cliff. But he was riddled with knee injuries. Yes. Coming out of college, so that one's kind of understandable, I guess.
For sure. But yeah, so your Patriots finally made a move.
A mediocre move, but I like it.
They were poked with the stick a little bit too much, and they finally decided to go ahead and help improve the team. So you're not the biggest fan of the move, or
no? I like the move, especially since J.C. Jackson. So of course we're talking about Malcolm Butler back to the Pats. He signed a 2-year deal for $9 million, I believe. Big fan. Obviously, one of the only reasons why I'm a huge fan of it is because you're bringing back, kind of like I was told Sauce earlier, it's the hometown hero, man.
Yep, that's right.
Freaking secured the ball and whatever Super Bowl it was against the Seahawks. Yep. It was a great It was a great Super Bowl to watch if you're a Pats fan, and because you knew the freaking Russell Wilson was going to score the ball and then the game was over because there was no time left. But to have him back on the team, that's awesome, and I'm guessing he's probably gonna retire as a Patriot,
as he should.
So he's coming back for his last ride, and he's not like a cornerback one type of guy, but I know he'll make some good plays.
Yeah,
when needed,
Yeah, he's played well in the past. He was, whenever the Titans defense was trash and he was on the defense, he was one of the lone bright spots. Mm-hmm. So I actually have a lot of respect for him. I like him quite a bit. He's a good dude, and he seems like a really nice guy too. He did a couple of press conferences whenever he was with the Titans and everything, and just struck me as a really nice guy.
Yeah,
those guys are the ones that are easiest to root for.
For sure.
Have you actually been checking out any of the new signings press conferences?
Not really. I did catch kind of Deshaun Watson's for a little bit. I mean, I didn't sit there and like watch it, but I kind of saw like on Facebook like the little thumbnails and kind of like some quotes on what he said.
Right.
But to be honest, other than that, I haven't really been keeping up with any of the press conferences.
So I think that you'll find this interesting. Last night, I was sitting there, I was watching some YouTube stuff. Started watching the press conference with Davante Adams. Mm-hmm. And as everybody knows, he is now a Sin City Raider.
Get into it.
That's right. So, and everybody knows kind of like how me and Josie collectively feel about the Raiders.
Well, you know what? It's a new year.
Yeah,
it's a new year. They got a new team.
That's right.
Like, well, I'm still gonna dog on Derek Carr until he proves me wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Consistently proves me wrong. Not just one game, but I mean, it's a new team.
Man, I'll tell you what, you can definitely tell that was his team growing up. That it was Davante Adams' team growing up, because dude was smiling ear to ear and everything. And one of the questions that was asked, it was really actually kind of funny to me. One of the reporters was like, So what's it going to be like, do you think, going from your old college throwing buddy going from your old college throwing buddy to one of the best quarterbacks that the NFL has ever seen, back to your old college buddy, and he was just like, they're both great quarterbacks. He did the normal thing, like saying that they're both great quarterbacks and everything, but he said that he thinks that their connection is just gonna blossom again, which is just so weird for me to think about because of the fact that Davante Adams, he's a superstar wide receiver, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. And like his preference was Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how much truth there was to that, but it just struck me as kind of strange. I mean, I get it though, because it's like, I mean, that's your boy.
Well, also the dude's trying to get paid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, as bad as some of these guys wants to win championships, you also got to look to the future.
Right.
And, you don't want to retire with not a lot. I mean, granted, most of these cats are making, regardless, millions a year. But most of these people, they want to hit those ridiculously high number of millions or whatever. So, I mean, I don't blame the guy. Like, a championship would be nice, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if he went to the Raiders, and which obviously he did, I feel like maybe he still believed that there was still a strong possibility to achieve that goal.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, honestly, they were in one of the greatest games, like regular season games I've seen in a long time. Against the Chargers and everything, so they were right on the cusp,
right, and
everything. And I mean, actually, the Raiders ended up going to the playoffs. I forgot about that, but they were also. I mean, Derek Carr has shown that he has the ability to throw on the ball, but just not consistently, and he's not very flashy or anything.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a bad move, especially considering the fact that they've got Darren Waller and
dude, they got a good team.
Yeah. They do have a good team.
But
so.
I feel like people, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like people are like overhyping Hunter Renfrow.
I agree.
Like, people make it seem like Hunter Renfrow is like the next Julian Edelman or the next, just this next great player. Which, like I said, I don't watch too much of the Raiders, right? But I also don't feel like, and I do keep up with them a little bit, right? It's football. Mm-hmm. I just don't feel like he's what a lot of what these people are making it seem to be.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Am I wrong?
No, I completely agree. I think he's a good wide receiver, but I think he's just a good wide receiver right now.
Right.
I don't think he's a budding superstar. Could be wrong, of course, but I don't really necessarily see he's not a very flashy player or anything. But of course, Darren Waller, he's absolutely nasty. So, I mean, who knows? I just don't like the quarterback over there.
I don't either, but this will be the year that he proves everybody wrong or right. Because he's got the team now. Because before it was like Gruden, he was behind a bunch of like bullshit, like emails and all that stuff that he got. I don't know if he quit or he got fired. If he didn't get fired, he was gonna get fired.
I think he's banned too.
Or some shit happened. We're not gonna get into that, but. There was, like, last year, there was a whole bunch of negative, like, talk about the Raiders, about their players, Henry Ruggs. There was, like, a couple other players that got arrested or some shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like going into this new year, some of that spotlight's going to kind of go away, and it's going to allow some of these players, like Derek Carr, kind of become more of themselves and play more comfortable football. Point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Well, and here's hoping that they can get past that, because obviously it's never a good look for the NFL or any teams just in general. So, but yeah, it's been an absolutely crazy offseason, which is kind of funny because we originally just assumed that the offseason was going to be ho-hum. It was going to be boring. Not much was going to go on. And of course, in typical fashion, it's not what it seems. It's been insane. Mm-hmm. So, and we're going to keep following it as well as giving out other content as well. So, Josie, my friend, do you have anything else for our lovely viewers?
Thank you guys for stopping by. If you guys are new to the channel, new to the podcast, make sure you check out our website. And on the website, you can pretty much access everything besides Apple Podcast. If you want to listen on Apple Podcast, you have to go to their site directly. And if you're interested in merch, we got hoodies, we got T-shirts, we got mugs, we got stickers, we got various different colors for the hoodies. One of my favorites is the charcoal one or the blue one. So go check them out. If you do purchase one, take a picture in it, tag us. We want to see you in it.
Absolutely.
We get randy with that type of stuff.
we do get randy.
But thank you guys for stopping by. I always appreciate the support, Sauce.
Absolutely. He pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. I love it. but yeah, like he said, we definitely appreciate it. We love the support and everything. Continue to just blow up our socials and everything. Connect with us. Talk to us in the comments and everything. Like we enjoy it. We like having fun. We like doing this podcast, but we also like talking to you guys and engaging in you guys. So yeah. Other than that, I think that's about it for us. For Jose, I'm Sauce. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.